And we're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. I've been talking, and I need to do an intro video and an exit video. I'll get to that. But I'm Rod Duff. This is Insights and Straight Talk. Over the last few days, I've been talking about certain things, and that being basically getting our politicians in line, putting in the sweat equity to make sure that the politicians are right for what we need as middle class Americans, versus what they need. And talked a little bit about AI, how fast the world is coming, but also we talked about different ways to improve on the middle class. So this part 3, I want to just kind of reach out and talk to people about the importance. When I talk about a utopia and AI being the first step of that, it's critically important that people really take a look and really think about making sure our politicians are doing the middle class people's bidding, doing their work for them. And it'd be a series of voting in and or voting out, depending on strengths and weaknesses. The reason I harp on this so much, because I talk about a utopia, which because of Doge, I think it's almost certainly the first step. And the reason I talk about that utopia is because it's coming in the future. It's coming downstream. And the reason I know that is because AI is making the world, much less the United States, a different place from where we are now. You know, the 2025, the current ways that the American people live versus the Jetsons. You know, and if you guys remember the cartoon, The Jetsons, the reason I say it's important to really dig into this and get our politicians dialed in is because when that AI starts really showing up, in other words, robots are in every working place, probably flying cars, robots are in everybody's kitchen, so to speak. And so what we need to do is getting those politicians in line means that as that utopia starts to really show up, starts to really come in, the regulations, the direction and how to manage the change is going to be up to either our politicians or our politicians through us doing our bidding, meaning the entire middle class. Don't care about the elites, but I do care about the middle class. I mean, not that doesn't hurt their feelings, but I can see a world where nobody has to work if they don't want to. And I can see a world where people are imprisoned or you know, terrible things are done. And I always talk about how the TV, whatever we see, that we've seen in science fiction, we've already started to accomplish that. Whatever we can conceive, we can achieve. And so with the utopia coming, I can also see that, you know, that bondage, that, you know, the things that you see on TV, all the horrible side stories for dates in the future. I don't. So there's two different futures, the utopias for my grandchildren, probably even for my children. I might start to see some of the beginning stages of it, but if we don't have our politicians doing our bidding, we can't have a perfect union. You know, if the middle class is strong, then America's strong. America's strong. The world is at peace and is okay. Not always, but without us, this world would be a different place already. Now you take that and you go into where we're going to end up in the next 20 years or more. Then you see the need to have this government, both sides of the aisle. I gotta see. I don't want to see the current political status as we have it now, but I do see an issue in all things unknown, because we're not told the truth on so many things, or told anything about so many things. I do know that with channels like this, with social media, with so much information, almost too much information coming into people. But when I see that happening, I really want, you know what? I really want to impress upon everybody that AI is coming. And for most people, maybe not most, but a quarter of Americans are going to have some trouble. I mean, I remember when the internet came on, and cell phones and that, and people that were my age then, or older, or even younger, there became a high level of depression. There became isolated, people did, because they didn't know how to use the technology, and they were afraid of it. And I can't blame them. It's something totally new. But each time we have this changing of a world, a generation is kind of lost, at least for a while. So all of this comes back to AI is coming on, and it's going to be a great thing, as long as the development of things that it creates and does is solely for the purpose of making America's great middle class more equitable, making it life in the middle class becomes easier. Excuse me, becomes easier. The fact that we've had the things in each evolution of the earth, or of certainly human nature, we've never had more opportunity than now than to completely direct our own future, and how that future looks, and how that future benefits the great middle class. It could be, like I said, on the science fiction shows, that it's a horrible future. You know, people are living in filth, and only the elites are living in the utopia we talk about. And way down there somewhere, there's people in ridiculous situations or circumstances. It makes great for movies, but we cannot keep doing what we as American citizens are doing. And whenever I talk about the great middle class in America, there's middle classes all over the world, right? I mean, that's a thing, right? And the thing that I want to understand, the thing that I want to understand is how I want everybody to understand as I run through my head how important it is for this time, for right now. We really have to come together as a group of people. You know, individually we don't have the power beyond our circle, right? And that goes up by a little bit each time you hit the middle class level. But I don't see why we all can't understand that the sweat equity needs to be put in. We need to have close communication, meaning willing to talk to other people about things instead of being isolated, right? The COVID kind of put us in a spot where we became used to being isolated, and as you know, it wasn't a good thing. At the end of the day, you know, the isolation was bad science, and it was creating the depressions and drugs, but it also created more babies, which is a good thing. But if we can really take this time for the sweat equity to put into our political system. Look, we use I'm sorry, every Sunday, let's say, there's 60 to 90,000 people in a football stadium, many of them across the country, right? Saturdays, Sundays, you know, and you can go into any church on a Sunday, and it's basically the pews are full. So those are things we've been, you know, entertainment and religion, we've been kind of doled out to by the American government. But why wouldn't the input of your politics, educated politics and discussions? That's why I talk about the watch parties. Why isn't that sought after hungrily, and in mass? It's very simple. It's not interesting. I mean, you go to a football game and you're being entertained. We need to figure out a way to make watch parties. Sorry, I'm getting over a little cold here. Watch parties, and we need to make sure that people see the ROI, the return on their investment, their sweat equity. That has to be some way. That is something that I have to find out some way to make this channel more popular, and not for me. My dogs are coming. Not for me, but for getting this word out, because I don't hear anybody making that connection. Most channels, that at least ones that I know of, most channels either about politics are either straight to the right or straight to the left. My desire to have this channel grow is because it shouldn't be that way. I mean, I voted on a split ticket this time, and but it shouldn't be that way. They shouldn't be teams that we're rooting for. You know, the Democrats got to win this, the Republicans got to win this. That's how the government has become so successful in growing and in controlling the people that they supposedly represent in government. It's very frustrating to see people. There's a new administration coming in, right? And that's great. Um, Not that the other, no difference between the two, but there's still people looking to hold back successes of the middle class because it's a different administration, it's a different political party. That's wrong. That's what's really hurting people, and we're able to live just comfortably enough to be healthy, so pretty much, to be able to carry on and go to your work and go to your this and go to your that. But it's when the founding fathers created this country, they created a system that had the opportunity to become a utopia. And I think we're at that final stages of a utopian life. I believe that because it's the AI is moving so fast, and this and technology never slows down. It only speeds up. And this administration has some of the most intelligent, brilliant people that's ever come and worked for our government. Uh, it's a wait and see, right? I mean, as I said yesterday, I believe Reagan's comment was trust but verify, and I think that's a good thing. That's really what I want to get at, folks. We really need to take a look. We really need to take our politics serious. Not they don't need to take over our world, but we need to take our politics serious and not have reactions like I see now. The losing side, people are acting crazy and already setting up ways to block improvement. But this time is really important. If it's all true, what the current administration, what Trump is talking about, what the people in the cabinet is talking about, there's going to be a completely different world by the time his term's over. So the time is now. We need to start creating watch parties or whatever you want to call them. We need to start getting our acts together, and we need to put in place into the House of Representatives, into the Senate, into the presidential section. we need to get all those people working jointly for ways to improve the American lifestyle. Because if we don't have them in check, so to speak, if we don't have them in check over this next time, and remember that's not going to happen quick. So we need to get started on this. I want my grandchildren to live in a utopia and where they don't have to work. They automation completely makes the cost and availability of everything faster. And we need to get on this now, because the politicians we need in place, maybe some of them are there now and have been there. Maybe some of them aren't, but we need everybody to be doing the bidding for the American people, for the upper middle class. So I'm gonna wrap up here. I want to inject in people's thought the importance that politics has now become. and we need to be active in that. With that, I'm Rod Duff for Insights and Straight Talk. Remember, say hi to somebody today. Wave at somebody if you don't know them, or give them a compliment that is just it's a benign compliment, but give them a compliment. Um, you'll be amazed at how the world changes, and you'd be amazed. Go try it out. Sorry, guys. Thought I turned off my phone. All right. That's it for now. You guys have a great day. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really enjoy sharing ideas back and forth. Let's make this world a greater place. Hashtag change the world. Hashtag watch party. Hashtag let's make it happen, man. All right. Love you guys. Bye.